Tonight, breaking news out of Providence, where as many as 9 people have been shot. I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. It happened in broad daylight in a residential neighborhood. By federal standards, this is a mass shooting, though police say this was a targeted feud between two groups, not random. We have team coverage tonight. 12 News reporter SHIINA LOSCIUTO is standing by at Rhode Island Hospital with more on the frustrations from police and the mayor over the continuing violence. Rob Nesbitt and KALUNIAN are live on the scene on Carolina Avenue where the shooting happened. Rob's got reaction from neighbors, but first, Kim has the new details from police tonight. Kim?
Well, Mike and Shannon, Providence Police Chief Colonel Hugh Clements says this appears to be the largest shooting in the capital city's history. So let's go through the numbers here. There are 9 victims tonight, 8 men, 1 woman, 3 of them in critical condition. And we are here off of busy Allens Avenue in the Washington Park section of Providence. Take a look here behind me at the scene on Carolina Avenue. We are being kept quite a ways from the scene as there is still a very heavy police presence at this hour. But earlier, we did get a closer look. You can see shell casings on the road in the middle of Carolina Avenue after a shootout around 7 o'clock today. Police say several dozen rounds were fired by as many as 4 or 5 guns in what started as a drive-by shooting. Police underscoring that this was a targeted incident, not random, and that the groups involved are well known to authorities. But so far at this point, no arrests have been made. Providence Police Chief Colonel Hugh Clements briefing us on the violence around 9 o'clock tonight.
It's unfortunate that young men in this community have no regard for life at times. They fire the guns willingly at each other, and this is the case here.
And Chief Clements says this neighborhood here close to the border with Cranston is typically quiet, but far from it tonight. Our Rob Nesbitt spoke with neighbors tonight and got their reaction to this unprecedented violence unfolding right on their street, Rob.
Kim, some of the people who live here, they find out at the same time that we did that 9 people were shot. One woman ran from the press conference in tears. Mayor Elorza says that he's spoken with some of the neighbors who live in this area and that everyone is shaken up by the shooting. He has assured them that there will be extra police patrols around Carolina Ave tonight, an added sense of security for the neighbors I talked with, including SAMANTHA, NEVES, who lives just 1 street over from the crime scene. She says her heart goes out to the 9 victims and their families.
I couldn't even believe it. I've never seen anything like this around here. I've been living here now for close to 5 years. One of the reasons me and my husband moved over here is actually because it's a quieter part of over here. It's like quieter neighborhood, nicer people.
This has to stop. The young people involved believing that the way to solve their disputes is with a handgun. I mean, that can't be the way.
Mayor Elorza says his biggest frustration with shootings like these is that oftentimes the victims know who's responsible. He's pleading with anyone who has any information about what happened behind me to come forward and help police with their investigation. There's also been a large police presence at Rhode Island Hospital throughout the night. That's where 12 News' SHIINA LOSCIUTO joins us now with what's happening there. SHIINA?
Well, the chief says every officer that wasn't sent to the scene was sent here to Rhode Island Hospital. And at one point, we saw more than a dozen police cruisers here. We're going to show you video now. This is what it looked like shortly after the shots were fired. Police cruisers were parked everywhere, right in front of the doors here. And police say this is the type of response that's necessary when dealing with feuding groups. Police say only 1 person took an ambulance to the hospital. The rest of the victims were driven or drove themselves. We also saw police towing a Jeep from the hospital. You can see in our video there is a bullet hole in the window. Police confirm this is related here. And as the chief explains, Rhode Island Hospital has had its share of gunshot victims this year.
We've taken a lot of guns off the street this year, almost double the amount of last year. And we've spoken about that. We don't shy away from the fact that we have a gun issue in this city. So prior to this, we had 19 gunshot victims and 7 homicides by gunfire. And actually, the 5-year average on those numbers is pretty consistent over the years. But so now that number will go up significantly because of this incident. But 19 victims of gunfire before today, plus 7 homicides.
So again, we had 9 victims in total and 3 are in critical condition tonight. We're told the ages of the victims range from 19 to 25. This, of course, is still a very active and ongoing investigation. Reporting live in Providence tonight, I'm SHIINA LOSCIUTO, 12 News.